Hi there, gentle people. The last time we were together, I showed you guys this notebook and told you that I would do a video to explain pretty much the book wrapping process. It was actually a journal that I got from Michael's. It was a black journal, but I didn't really like the cover, so I had some handmade paper that I got from Binder's Art Supply, and you can get handmade paper from any of your local art supply store. Find something that you like. If not, maybe you have a nice sheet of paper that you can do your own design on, but I'm going to show you how to go through the process and wrap the book today. And if you notice, I haven't covered the inside here, but once you're complete, you can definitely take another sheet of paper if you're not too happy with the pattern inside as well. So let's get started. You are going to need, obviously, a notebook, and this notebook already has a very cool cover, but I decided to cover it just to show you the process. It's a sketchbook, so you'll need whatever notebook it is that you're covering. You're going to need a sheet of paper that is big enough to cover the book, and you'll need glue as well as scissors. All right, so paper, notebook, scissors, and glue. And I'm trying out this glue for the first time. It's the Elmer's Extreme, and it's acid free and non-toxic, but it's supposed to work on stuff that requires a little bit more gluiness for want of a better word. So it says it handles bigger, tougher projects, so I thought, you know, let me try it out with my book binding and book wrapping stuff. The first thing that you'll need to do is you have to have the paper with an even amount of space around it, because these are going to fold up for your corners. So I've kind of wrapped it a little bit before, and what you're gonna do is get the edges wrapped like that. And I always do this first just to make sure I have the paper in the right places. Turn over the other side and make sure to have that wrapped over as well. So I always like to smooth it out, and if you have a bone folder, that works perfectly fine. You can kind of run it along the edges to make sure that the edges are nice and neat. If not, you can use a card, like a debit or a credit card, or you can pretty much use your own fingers as well. So definitely go ahead and kind of run it along the edges. No, that's where you are, right? So the next step is to get the glue on the book. So just open up your glue, and I like to put some glue along the spine as well, because that makes the paper secure. So I run some glue along the spine, and then I put glue all over the cover. Now this is a trick that I just started doing when I was growing up and watching my mom wrap books. She didn't put glue on it, so I like the idea of the glue because it makes the paper sit a little more securely. And then you also run some glue along the edges right here, just to make sure that the paper sits down properly on the edges of the book. All right, so now that your glue is there, you're gonna just fold the paper over and smooth it down. And I just pretty much use my hands for that process. If you want, you can use your bone folder or your credit card or your hands, whatever you have. And then also make sure to run it along the spine, because remember, you put some glue on the spine as well, just to make sure that that's secure. All right, so that is side number one. We're gonna turn it over and do the same thing for this side. And get a nice layer of glue on, and I like to run the glue in both directions, up and down and then side to side, just to make sure that all the areas of the cover are covered with the glue. And then remember to run some along the edges to make sure that your paper is secure. All right, and now we press our paper down to make sure it's nice and secure. Right, so that's the first step. Now you're going to open up the book and you want to get this edge, this flap glued down. So what I kind of like to do is put my hand here to secure it, and then I'll just run some glue along the paper, and you can put some on the edge of the book if you want it to be a little bit more secure as well. And now you're just going to fold this over just like that. Alright, so that is edge number 1. I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. Get your glue on nice and secure. Make sure to get some on the edge of the notebook or the journal as well. And get that down. Oops, I kind of went over the edge a smidge, but don't worry about that because the flaps on the side have to come over anyway, so you're still fine. Alright, so since I do have a little bit of glue on this side, I'm going to just start working on this side. So what you have should now look like this. You're almost there. You can see the progress, right? So what you're going to do now is you have to fold the paper on the inside. So you need to cut the edges. So as close to the spine as you can get, you're going to just make a little cut all the way to the edge of the book right there. And then another little cut all the way to that edge. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. You're going to cut down to the spine, and it's kind of hard to see, but you're going to cut down to the spine because you're going to need to fold those flaps over as well. So you're going to open your book again, and you're going to get some more glue on the edges of your paper. Alright, you want to get a little bit on the inside here as well. Oh, and then what you're going to do now to have a nice metered edge, you're going to fold the corner just like you would in bookbinding. And now you're going to wrap this over. So that's what it should look like. And if you're not too certain if this little edge is secure right here, you can always go over it with some tape, or when you add another sheet of paper on the inside, then you can always glue over that if you want to make sure that it's 100% secure. Now you're gonna flip pretty much same thing on the other side. Get a little bit of glue under the flap as well, and remember to get some glue along the edges of your notebook. You're going to turn your corner, make your little triangle, and then flip that over and fold. And that's it. That's your first side done, right? Alright, so now we have our other side, and we have our little notches in the paper cut already. So get some glue on. Bring out that glue stick a little bit more and get some more glue on that book. Fold your little triangle. And wrap. And secure. You can run your fingers along the edges too, just to make sure that the paper is secure against the edge of the book. Flip to the other side. And get your glue on. Don't be stingy with the glue. This is extra strength, so hopefully it should be a little bit more secure. And then you're gonna fold. When I was growing up, my mom actually used tape. She would put the tape here and get it down in the sides, but the glue makes it more secure. All right, so you're almost there. And this is what your book should look like at this point in time. And obviously you need to cut these little edges off. So I just try to get as close to the edge as possible and snip. And get to the other side. Snip. Flip your book. Stay as close to the edge of the spine as possible, and snip, snip, snip. And gentle people, that is pretty much it. your notebook is done. It is wrapped. If you have a book that you love the inside but you might not necessarily like the outside, then you can definitely go ahead and wrap it. And like I mentioned before, you can always put paper over here to cover it if you want to, but it's black on the inside, so I don't really mind it the way it is. And I have a nice spanking new journal that is good to go. And the journal was pretty much on sale at Michael's for like $3, and if you were to actually go and buy something like this in the store, I'm sure it would be a lot more expensive. So again, simple, easy technique for book wrapping to personalize something and make it your own. Thank you for joining me. I appreciate your time and your presence as always, and until next time, see you soon. Peace.